Okay. So just a very warm welcome to everyone. There's lots of people who've just joined as well, so and are still joining. So we will be. I've decided that we will be uploading a recording of the session to hopefully our website if I can manage to sort out the tech, and we'll send out a link to you so that you can see it again or share it with your family and friends as well. So what we're going to be doing in this workshop is briefly three activities that will be hopefully light and fun. One that will help us to see with calm, one that will help us to see with compassion, and another one that will help us to see with celebration. And the reason that we're doing this is that at this time of year, the winter, the festive season, and actually, when I say the winter, let me just say, actually, in some parts of the world, it is summer, and we have quite a lot of people here from Australia and New Zealand. So some of you might be actually feeling really warm and even really too warm at the moment, but you may be celebrating Christmas wherever you are anyway. And at this time of year can be, some people really struggle with the darkness and the cold. Others struggle with the stress of Christmas and sometimes the chaos. Sometimes people struggle with loneliness and isolation. And some people are finding at this time of year the situation, the bigger picture of what's happening in the world, also very difficult to manage and to be with at this time. And all of that compounded can be quite overwhelming. And what we're going to do are very simple, creative activities in how to look at things a bit differently. I'm just going to take a little pause, and you might like to do so as well. Sense into how you're feeling right now at this moment. So you hopefully have seen the little list of things to bring that was in the invitation. And if you've got a blanket or a cushion with you, you may want to actually take that now and make yourself even more comfortable. Check in with how you're feeling, posture that you might want to readjust your posture slightly. If you are slightly cold, feel free to get that blanket, make yourself cozy and warm. And if you're in your pajamas, that's absolutely fine. There's a bit of me that wishes that I was in mine, but I'm not. That will happen very soon. Okay. Who's brought a candle with them? I hope brought a candle. So I have one with me. Oh, great. The people that I can see on this screen are raising their hand. So that's great. But there's quite a few screens that I can't see. So hopefully everyone's got a candle. And if you haven't, just imagine that you do, or maybe you'll benefit from everyone else's, sorry, everyone else's candles as well. I just got a message there that confused me for a second. So at this moment, you might want to light your candle in a very slow, mindful way. So bring your candle closer to you if that's safe to do so. And when you're ready, slowly light your candle. And if it's easy to do so, and if it's safe to do so, you might actually want to turn the light off in the room that you're in. It might involve moving slightly, going to turn the light off, back to the light of the candle. I'm just going to have a quick flick through. It's so lovely to see all these candles burning. Okay, lovely. So the invitation here is for you to maybe hold the candle if that's appropriate and if it's safe to do so. It might not be. Hold it, feel it. Look at the colours of the candle. Look at the shapes of the candle. Look at the textures, any patterns. And you may want to spend 1 minute. I'm going to time 1 minute looking and seeing the flame of the candle and bringing your attention to that in particular. And notice how you feel as you look at the candle, as you look at the flame. Notice the flickering, any movement. There may be shadows. There may be reflections. Okay. And now, still with the light off, if you've turned it off, look around the room that you're in very slowly. Oops, I'm sorry. I thought I'd turned that off. Look around the room that you're in and notice how the light maybe is very different now to how it normally is. It might be very dark in your room, but you have your flame, you have your candle. And once again, check in with yourself to see how that feels. And when you're ready, and if you have brought a camera or a phone with you to create a few images this evening, you might want to get your phone or camera at this point. Put your candle down, and very slowly and in a very intentional, slow, mindful way, create one image of your candle, really considering what you choose to have in the frame and what you're choosing to leave out of the frame. And as you're doing this, notice not just what you see, but how you feel. When you've created a photograph of your candle, you may want to look at the bigger picture of your room again and see whether there's an aspect or a part of your room that you'd like to create an image of. Feel free to turn around in your chair to move a little bit. There may be something, and it doesn't matter what the end product is. This is about the process of looking and seeing. and feeling as you do so. Okay, so we're now going to get on to the second activity of looking and seeing with compassion. Now, what does compassion look like? And you might want to put into the chat any words that come up for you around what compassion looks like. I'm not going to read all the comments out, but feel free to have a look at them. Lots of different words, thoughts come to mind here. Wonderful to see. And I'm going to share with you a few photographs now that that I've used very recently as part of my own process of dealing with the winter, the darkness, the cold, the shall I go outside or not kind of feeling. And photographs that I've used to help me reframe how I'm feeling as a result and then make some different choices into how I go about my day. I'm just going to make sure that, yep, this should work. Okay. Okay. So as I show these few photographs, just get a sense of how you feel when you see them. For me, this was an image of a winter some time ago. It was getting dark, as you can see, but there was still this amazing light. But it was also quite turbulent and windy and stormy. But for me, that light shining through meant so much to me at the time. This image speaks to me of how wonderful it is in the darkness and in the quieter times of year to have some space for dreaming, for being quiet, for visioning. And I know this particular person who was actually going through a process themselves as part of this photo shoot that we did that that spoke to him very much so of his future and where he was going at the time, but coming from quite a dark place in that particular instance. And this image here reminds me of the fact that for so many of us, the light is burning bright, but not for everyone. For so many people, not just maybe amongst us tonight, but also around the world, it's very, very hard to actually see and feel the light right now, wherever they are in the world. And I think that this image helps to remind us of that. For me, this image is one where the beauty of winter, but also that idea that things aren't necessarily that in focus, they can be a bit smudgy. And I actually really like that. But what I particularly like about this image is that little raindrop on the bud there. and it's shining bright, but it's also the only thing in the image that is in focus. And it reminds me of focusing on the bright, but also just focusing on one little thing at a time and allowing everything else to well, for me to let go of so much else that maybe isn't serving me at this time. Sometimes we see things that wouldn't normally be that beautiful, but we can be surprised by something that maybe unexpectedly gets in the way. So I love this image. It's one of my favorite images, looking through actually a builder's net. So a blue builder's net, looking at this wonderful sculpture, this natural sculpture of the tree. And I decided to share this image because it reminds me of the night time where it is dark, and yet sometimes the moon shines really, really bright. And I like to go out into the full moon as and when I can. And it's always really incredible what I see at those times. So just a little reminder for me and maybe to you as well at this time. Okay. So wherever you are right now, what can you see in the space that you're in that gives you a sense of compassion, of how you can show love, kindness, and compassion to yourself, literally right here in this moment? Have a look around your room. There may be a house plant. There may be a book. There may be a sofa that you can sit on or that you are sitting on that can give you some kind of what's the word? I can't think of the word, but something that you can go online. Something that you can use to nourish and nurture yourself. Some of you may have a fire on, or even the radio. Sorry about that. I hope you didn't miss too much, or you had to mute everyone. Okay. So you might want to now get up from your seat if you would like to, or just sit where you are. Sit where you are. And take a photograph of something in your room that speaks to you of how you can offer yourself some kindness, some compassion right now. It might even be the cushion that you brought with you, or a blanket. There may be a book. There may be a cup of tea. It doesn't have to be anything major. It can be something really quite small and mundane. In fact, sometimes the more mundane, the better. The more ordinary, the better. And again, create an image in a way that is very considered with intent. And as you're creating this image, do it with a sense of feeling compassion towards yourself at this time, whatever you're experiencing and however you're feeling. I'm just going to give you a few more moments. And if there isn't anything in particular that feels particularly meaningful to you right now, then you may want to consider this activity at some point over the next few days or weeks. And as you're walking around your home, your office, your street, Consider anything that you might see, or be open, have an open mind and an open heart to seeing things that can give you a sense of compassion and kindness towards yourself, but also maybe things that you can offer to others. And think about what actions you may be able to take as a result of that. Actions of care, of consideration towards yourself and others. So I'm going to come back to the slides briefly and show you a couple of very practical activities that I literally offered myself. I think Saturday. Yeah, it was on Saturday just gone. So on this particular day, Saturday, I woke up feeling really flat. Not down, not low, but just flat. I'd had a really, really busy week and I was tired. And to be honest, all I wanted to do was sleep. And that would have been fine, but the weather was okay and I thought actually I need to get out and get as much daylight as I can at the moment as well. And I had no idea where I was going to go. But I just got in the car and ended up here, which is about 10 miles from where I live, along the River Severn and in near Stroud in Gloucestershire in the UK. And I hadn't actually been here for a very long time and was quite surprised to get there. And when I got there, I realized that the landscape totally showed me or reflected back to me how I was feeling at that point. The landscape was very, very flat in the estuary of very near the estuary of the River Severn. It's a quite wide river at this point. And you can see I've been looking down as a way of grounding myself in that moment, looking up at the wide skies, looking left, looking right, looking ahead, looking behind me, but also placing myself in this little collage that I then ended up doing. And what was a very flat experience was totally reframed into something that actually was far more circular. In fact, well, as I'm thinking about it now, it became very circular. And then on my way home, it was getting really quite dark. And I was along this road, along this country lane, and I saw the solo bird up there in the middle at the top. And it made me stop the car on the side to have another look. So this was literally a little bend in the road. And I got out, and luckily the bird didn't fly away. And it just reminded me of the way that I like to just sit sometimes, sit and look. And very nearly always on my own when I do this. But then I looked around and I saw to the left there two birds sitting on the wire. And then I looked up and there were actually lots of birds circling around. And I started to look around me. There was the public footpath signpost, and I looked right and saw the gate leading down the public footpath and wondered with curiosity, I wonder where that goes. And looking at the slightly bigger picture there in the top right. But what really struck me here, as I stood here, was how alone I was, and yet I did not feel lonely. So I was here in solitude, which was a very, very intentional experience for me, which I do a lot. And then looking up, seeing the telephone wires, and which reminded me straight away of connection with other people and the need to connect with others at this time. If and when we do live alone, or we live with, I live with my son, and how sometimes things can get lonely. You can feel a bit isolated. But then coming back to the idea of compassion, in those times, what can I do? What action can I take? And these photographs will remind me, okay, I can pick up the phone. I can go and see a friend. I can take action to reach out and to connect with others. but also to connect with my sense of space and my local environment, and to connect with nature. I hope that might give you some ideas as to where you might want to go for a little wander. Or you might actually not know. And in fact, I would encourage you to not know and just trust your instinct and go off somewhere and see what happens, see what you come across. And it doesn't even have to be for very long. The the third activity that I'd like us to do together today is see with celebration. Now, we all celebrate Christmas, the winter, other rituals, celebrations, maybe the winter solstice. There may be some other religious or spiritual activity or celebration that may be important to you over the coming few weeks. It's very likely that there is. And light comes into a lot of these celebrations for all of us, wherever we are in the world. But I think I'm probably right in guessing that food is also a very important part of celebration for all of us, wherever we are, and possibly drink as well. Now, I've actually got a nice cup of coffee here, a very strong little one, in a cup that I specifically chose because I'm celebrating the fact that my son gave this little cup to me. So it's all very, very intentional. He was in Morocco recently and brought it back as a present. Uh, I will pour myself a coffee in a minute, but I also have a plate of nice food. Now I'm hoping that others have you all brought food with you? Now, this is the time to get your food out. But before we start eating together, so here's my little plate of food. Now I've got some Sharon fruit, a date, some pecan nuts, and of course, a mince pie because I'm British. So I just had to get a mince pie. Now, before we start eating together and sharing food together, you might want to just take another look at the food that you've brought with you. Appreciate the food for its colours, its textures. There might be shapes and patterns again. But also consider the journey from source to your plate that this food has been on. The energy, the natural and the human energy that it's taken for this food to reach your plate. From those seeds, the germination, the whatever it is, the growing, all that energy, all that care. And consider how that makes you feel. And you may now want to get your camera out again or your phone and create an image of the food that you've brought. And consider again what you're intentionally choosing to have in the frame and what you're choosing to leave out. There are a few more moments for you just to be with your food, sense into it, look at it, you might want to smell it, feel it. And after you've created an image of it, if you'd like to, that is, you might actually want to take a bite and eat it, or eat something that's on your plate right now. And as you do so, really appreciate with gratitude what it is that you have in your mouth and the story of whatever it is that's in your mouth. And celebrate it in all of its senses. Okay. So a little celebration is not a celebration really without a bit of connection with other people. So in this moment, I'd like us to actually just consciously, so in a more intentional way, look at each other on the screen. If you don't want people doing this, then feel free to turn your camera off at this point. That's absolutely fine. But whoever you can see on your screen, and you may want to scroll through as well the various screens. Really note whether you know people or not. Get a sense as to who is here. Bearing in mind that we're all in different places, we're all feeling different things. We're all experiencing the winter or the summer, for those of you who it's summer. And these winter months, very different. You might literally want to just kind of go from the top of the screen to the left, to the right, and then down each screen, connecting with everyone, really looking and seeing people. As I'm doing this, it's really lovely to see so many people that I know and so many that I don't know as well. Okay. Now the invitation now is to go, we're going to go into small breakout room just for 5 minutes. And this is an opportunity for you to meet people that hopefully you don't know. I mean, you might be a mixture of people that you do know, people that you don't know. But it's a way for you to actually share something around what you've experienced today or this evening and these last nearly 40 minutes now of looking and seeing differently, looking at calm, looking with compassion, and looking with celebration in any way that you wish to share. And you may want to look at your photographs on your phone or camera, and you may decide to share one or more of these images with the people in your group. And the easiest, most accessible and tech-free way of doing this is literally to go onto your phone or whatever it is you're looking at and go like that. We could get more techie, but we're not going to. Okay, so I'm going to put you into breakout rooms. We're going to have just a few in each group. And if you don't want to go into a breakout room, that's absolutely fine. You don't have to join. You can stay here with me, or just keep your camera off, or stay muted, whatever feels right to you. There's no rights or wrongs about this. The most important thing is that you feel comfortable and calm. Okay, so I'm going to find the breakouts. So we're going to have just a few groups of 4 to 5 people per group. Most of you, there'll be 5, I think. So I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes, and you'll have 1 minute roughly each to talk about your experiences of what you've been looking at, what you've seen, but also how you're feeling in this moment. And share if you'd like to, but don't feel any obligation to. Okay, so if you'd like to join the rooms, please do.
I pressed the wrong button. Could you send me back to my room, please?
Who's that? Oh, Nicola. Hi.
Sorry, thank you.
Can't find you.
Or maybe I can. Maybe it says join breakout room. Maybe I can go down there. I'll have a go.
Hang on. Do you know which breakout room you were in?
No, but I'll try this join breakout room. Oh, it
Okay.
says, yeah, it says I'm going to 9, so I'm going to go. Thank you, Ruth.
Okay, great. We're just, whoever it was that's just arrived, we're just in breakout rooms for another 3 minutes. Okay, so I'll probably keep you here for now, unless you were already in one, and then you can go back into the one that you were in.
Hello.
Hi.
I was in one, but I didn't
Oh, were
realise.
you?
Yeah, but I didn't realise for 1 minute I was set up as Boo Boo. That's what the children call
Oh, I was just gonna call you Boo Boo, and I thought,
me.
oh,
It's Becky Smith. It's Becky Smith. I'm in Gloucester, but so they
Becky
said,
Smith. Hi, hi.
yeah. So they said, Lena, do you want to say something? So and so, do you want? Then they said Boo Boo, and I was like, how do they know I'm called Boo Boo?
Oh. Let me see if I can put you back in. Can you remember which one you were in?
Um, Not really. I can
Oh.
show you my photographs if you'd like.
Yeah, feel free. Yeah, and
Or, or
anyone else who's still here in the common room, so to speak, if we can call that. Oh, who's that in the top left? Anna. Hi, Anna. I can just about see you. It's very dark. And anyone else who's
Yeah.
here who would like to share anything with me right now, please feel free to do so. But don't
oh,
feel
I thought I was here on
no,
my own.
no. There's a few people here. So if anyone else would like to say hello, that's great.
Hi, I'm Anna. I'm just in the background. I just have
Yeah,
my
that's
candle
fine,
on.
Anna.
It's
Yeah,
really
that's
light, and I'm
fine.
just sitting here enjoying it.
That's
So if you
great, Anna.
don't mind.
Really lovely. No, no, of course not. You do what's right for you.
So I've just told everybody about the Boo Boo thing.
But there aren't that many. There's only about 10 people.
Okay. I've got to get more tech savvy, I think.
Well, there's always more we can learn, isn't there? But it's fine, don't worry.
It's water.
Great. No judgment here.
I just thought if I I don't drink. I only drink water or coffee. That's it. And it is a bit late for coffee, so
Yeah.
water in a wine glass.
Okay, looks like everyone's back. I hope you've enjoyed your little chats with people. I hope you've enjoyed connecting, learning a bit about each other, celebrating whatever it is that you feel like celebrating at this time. And I hope you've enjoyed sharing some of your images together as well. It's interesting as you've come back in, everyone's in a different order, and I'm now kind of getting my head around who's on this particular screen. And it's just wonderful to see people that I didn't see before. So yeah, I'm not going to start shouting out names, but it really is wonderful. Okay, so we're coming towards the end of our little workshop together, but before we do so, I'd just like to read out a little poem that someone shared with me actually a couple of days ago that felt particularly relevant. It's very short and it's by Mary Oliver. I'm sure that a lot of you will be familiar with it already. It's tiny. So, sometimes I need only to stand wherever I am to be blessed, to pay attention. This is our endless and proper work. I'm just going to read that again. Sometimes I need only to stand wherever I am to be blessed, to pay attention. This is our endless and proper work. So at this point, I'd like to invite you just to spend a few moments in quiet and stillness on your own, reflecting on what you've seen and how you've felt as a result of looking and seeing calm, compassion, and celebration. And as part of your reflection, the invitation is for you to consider what actions you may want to take in order to offer yourselves calm, compassion, and celebration, as well as offer those three things to others in your life over the coming days and weeks. So I'm going to set the timer for a minute. So a minute of silent reflection. Okay, thank you, everybody. You may want to take a deeper breath or two, if that might feel right for you or feel nice at this point. And before we go, I'd like to just let you know a little bit more about Look Again and what we may be able to support you with and what we can offer you over the coming months. So some of you will already know because you've done the training with us, our foundational training, that the three words calm, compassion, and celebration form part of one of our frameworks, our facilitation frameworks. There's actually 7 C's, but you'll have to come on the training to find out what the others are. I'm joking. Well, you could do if you want to, of course. But look, I've got a couple of extra slides that will actually help me as to guide me through what I'd like to share with you. And at this point, I would very much like to thank my dear friend and colleague Maiken, who has helped me with a lot of this work. And I'm very, very grateful to you, Maiken. And I know that a few people on this call today know Maiken. And Maiken was someone she doesn't know I'm going to say this. I hope you're not embarrassed, Maiken. It's meant with lots of love and compassion. I met Maiken on on a regenerative leadership journey that I did in 2022. Now, Maiken was actually the following year, but then I met Maiken and a couple of other people who are on this call in Devon on a retreat or a kind of a gathering. We didn't call it a retreat. It's more of a gathering, and a gathering that unfolded as we went through the days. And so those of you who are here today, hello everybody. It's really lovely to see you. And some of us met again a few months ago, just outside Lille on a really lovely regenerative sort of gathering there. So I'm just wanting to share with you these. I need to do something before I can do that. Here we go. Okay. I'm not used to using this on the system that I'm using at the moment, so please bear with me. Here we go. I'm in the process of learning a lot more tech, but it's not my strong point, I must admit. So our kind of foundational training for professional practitioners is called Working with Mindful Photography. And this is what we applied to for well, we actually won. Sorry, I'm gabbling on a bit here. We won the Innovations in Mindfulness Award back in October at the Manchester Mindfulness Festival, or the Mindfulness Festival in Manchester, I should say. So big shout out to Christoph if you're here, and others who were involved in that festival, which was a really amazing event. And this program now we've been running for 3 years, and it brings together a real much more in-depth weaving or blending of mindfulness with photography, and also connecting with nature. And the kind of point, the main point of this particular training is how we can use our eyes and those other things, including mindful photography, to see the present differently, more specifically for improved mental health and well-being, as well as for building resilience. And the focus of that training, of this training, is very much on the now. And you can see here that there's 7 modules, and I'm not going to go into it, but hopefully you can see on the screen, like, and the images, how the flow works. And it's what's really important about this is that we go through lots of practices, activities, there's lots of theory, materials, etc. But at the end, we really spend a lot of time on how we can actually deliver this in, or how you can adapt and deliver this in your own communities, whether that's mindfulness related or education or coaching or whatever that might be. And the aim of, or what is really, really important to us, is that everything that we do is as accessible and adaptable as possible, while without losing the integrity of the work. And I'd just like to add briefly that this particular training is based on the evidence base that we have for some of the work that we've done in communities over the last few years in Gloucestershire. And the evidence is that this does actually help to decrease anxiety and depression, and in so doing, improve mental health and well-being. The other program, which we're launching in 2025, so the first program is starting on the 30th of January. And I had to take a deep breath there because it's very exciting, but also a bit scary. I'm really, really excited about this program. It's actually been in my head, in my ideas folders, various folders, for about 4 years now. So I've been pregnant with this for 4 years. And it's been really quite painful at times. And now it's kind of, well, it's out. It's out. The information is out, but there's still obviously work to do between now and the end of January. And I know that there's quite a lot of interest in this, which is really, really exciting. And in this particular program, we're going to be looking more at how we use imagination as well as visualization work, as well as the mindful photography and learning with nature to support ourselves, individuals in our communities and teams, organizations, etc., to create new stories of hope that are regenerative, and both for people and also the planet. The focus here very much is on the future. So, if nothing changes in this world, what does the future look like? And how do we feel about that? And if we want to create futures that are more caring and connected, what does that look like? And what does seeing for future generations look like? And doing this in a way that we actually then use what we've learned, what we've seen, to literally help us take action to create these hopeful future stories. And like in the first training program, we'll be looking at practical applications and good practice as well. So if you'd like to find out more about these, you can contact me directly through email, or we've got all our various social media sites, but everything is on our website now, which is look-again.org. Feel free to join our newsletter. We also offer workshops that are more taster workshops. We'll be offering more of those next year. They're more for individuals rather than professionals who are wanting to do the training. But some of those might lead people into thinking, actually, I'd quite like to do the training as well. And they're more specific community workplace related projects and one-to-one sessions. So I'll stop sharing there, and if you'd like to find out where to go. But that's enough of that little kind of blurb. Much more interested right now in coming back to this moment. And I'd like to invite you maybe just to write 1 or 2 words or a short sentence in chat now that helps to describe how you're feeling in this moment. Having looked and seen with more calm, hopefully, with compassion, and in celebrating. Now, one thing I almost forgot, and I've just looked down at my notes, which I very rarely do, that I really, really, really do want to include before everyone goes. And that this was mentioned in the information for that we sent out originally, that you signed up to, is that Look Again is supporting 2 charities this year. And one of them is Garras, which is the Gloucestershire Area Action for Refugees and Asylum Seekers. So I've done quite a lot of work with Garras over the years. And there's also the Médecins Sans Frontières, or Doctors Without Borders, that we support, or we're supporting specifically at this time. So if any of you would like to make a donation of your own, you can do so by going directly to their sites. And I'm hoping, I can't see so many links or so many things in chat. I'm not going to be able to get through there, but hopefully Maiken has added a link to those. And if possible, Maiken, if you haven't already, maybe you can just do that again now, if at the bottom. So that people can access those links very easily if you would like to contribute and make a donation. Okay, well, thank you all so much, everybody, for coming. I can't believe the hour has gone already, and I've been absolutely bowled over by the response to this gift. And I really, really hope to see, well, all of you. Would be amazing to see you all again at some point, one way or the other. And I know that some of you I will be seeing again shortly. But please do feel free to offer what you've learned to others at this time. You know, we need it. This world is crazy, right? I don't think anyone would deny that. Wherever we are in the world, for some of us, it's a lot more crazy than it is for others, and really seriously challenging. And for those of us who struggle with mental health in particular, this year can also be a really challenging time. So sending lots of love and lots of care to everyone at this time. I'm very happy to stay on for 5-10 minutes if anyone's got any questions or would like to stay on and say hi. But if not, please feel free to go. The session, the workshop is officially ended now. So, but feel free. I'm here drinking my coffee, which I haven't even started yet. Thank you all so much for coming. Take good care.
Thank you, Ruth.
Thank you.
So much, Ruth. Bless.
You go
That
well.
was lovely. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Ruth. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Paddy, I
Bye,
can
thank
see you,
you.
Paddy. Hey, Paddy. Lovely to see you.
Thanks, Ruth. Take care.
Take care, everybody. Take care.
Thanks, Ruth. You've helped hugely.
Oh, good.
It's made an immense difference today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Paddy. So lovely to see you. It's been too long. You
Take care.
Yeah, you take care.
Thank you, Ruth.
Who's saying? Ah, Valérie!
Comment ça va? How are you?
Ça va bien, toi?
Yes, pas mal, not bad.
Ah,
showing how beautiful you look. And me, I always have this terrible camera with a sort of pink filter. I don't know, La Vie en Rose.
Oui, la
But
vie en rose, c'est ça, oui.
it's, I don't know, how do you do
Valérie,
that?
il y a une autre Française ici, c'est Audrey.
Oh, hello, Dre.
Sorry, everybody, we're just having
Hello, Valerie.
Nice to see you, Audrey.
Nice to see you, Ruth.
Lovely to see you. Really nice. Karen, hi. In Australia. Wow. What's the time in Australia?
It's 6 a.m. now.
Oh, not too bad then. So have you been asleep?
Yeah.
You're up. This is like early morning, so you're up now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm up. A nice start, very, very nice start to the day.
Oh, good. Well, I hope you have a really good day going on.
Yeah.
And you have a fellow Australian here with us, Leonie Ruth, or Ruth.
Hi, Karen.
Yeah, so there we go.
Where are you, Leonie?
Hi, I'm in New South Wales, in rural New South Wales, so it's 6:30 a.m. here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in Adelaide, which is
Yeah.
a different state, South
It is.
Australia. So
It
yeah,
is.
we're a bit all over the shop with our times, aren't we?
We are. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's been brilliant, nevertheless.
Yes.
I'm going to stop recording. I forgot. I'm going to stop now.